Spoilers for the Owl House ahead. Please go watch the series if you haven't watched it yet. Everyone knows about the Owl House, or at least someone's at least heard of it or told you about it. Me, myself, I'm a big fan of the Owl House, a huge fan, and with the Owl House ending tomorrow, I said that was the perfect time to finally talk about it. So, what do I like about the Owl House? Well, I'm going to explain it in this video. The story of the Owl House is very complex, and not entirely a story I can get into right at this moment. But it has some very surprising twists, and it was definitely a story I got invested in pretty early on. So why did I get into it pretty early on? Well, I guess I just really liked the characters. It wasn't until season 2 maybe that the story really started to fully unfold. In the first season, we're introduced to the main cast: Luce, Ida, King, Willow, Gus, and Amity. We weren't really introduced to Hunter until the last episode of season 1, but he was definitely still in the season. This season 1, was probably the season where we got to see the characters' personalities, or the start of where the personalities would begin. Full character development, again, didn't really happen until season 2, but season 1 was definitely where it started. Development for characters like Amity and Willow, to be exact, and Luce's journey, although I wouldn't really call it character development. The character with probably the most character development of all was definitely Amity. She went through a lot of character development to go from school bully to Luce's awesome girlfriend. I think the biggest person who helped her with her development was Luce herself. The first time we meet Amity, we see her bullying Willow, and then Luce offers to go to school with Willow. After that, Luce and Amity interact a few more times in season 1. A few more as in quite a bit. Luce and Amity have a duel where Amity seemingly starts to grow fonder of Luce than she was before. It wasn't until really Grom Night where we saw how close they'd really gotten. And then we learned that Amity, of course, was crushing on Luce. But who else had a very fair amount of character development? A character we saw in season 1 quite a bit? Willow. When we first meet Willow, she's definitely more shy. She's unsure of herself. She's very self-conscious. And that has to do with a lot of the bullying she gets from Amity, Basha, and their friends. Friends, I say in quotation marks. After she meets Luce, and then after she and Amity start becoming closer, after the one episode where Amity goes to Willow's mind, I don't remember the name of the episode right now. But after that episode, she starts getting more confident. Even others in the school notice, and they start liking her, which of course makes Basha very upset. Gus also gets a fair amount of character development, but we don't really see his character develop as much as Amity and Willow's. He basically has the same personality as from season 1, except a bit toned down since he's more mature than he was in season 1. We also see character development of characters such as Lilith and King and Ida, who I'll touch on later in the video. As for the main Hexai squad, definitely the person who helped everyone develop was obviously Luce, which makes sense. She's the protagonist that tries to make friends with everyone, and she tries to see them good in everything, which is something I can definitely relate to. But it's also definitely something that changes over this series, something else I will touch on later in the video. Hunter is a very interesting character. We're introduced to him in the very last episode, and we see him the very first episode of season 2. So who exactly is Hunter? Well, when we first meet him, he's the Golden Guard, someone who everyone sees as Belos' right-hand man. He's also the nephew of Belos. I say this with very heavy quotation marks. the first thing he ever has to do is to basically kill a creature in the ocean. Something he makes Luz do. But she doesn't actually end up doing this because she outsmarts him. Now, something that gets revealed much later, like Hollow Mind, Hunter is a golden guard. I mean, not a golden guard. Hunter is a Grim Walker. Basically a clone of Belos' dead brother, someone who he killed. He's using the golden guards to help fulfill the thing he wants to do, which is kill all the witches. Once Hunter realizes this, he's very scared. He's seen what Belos can do when he gets angry. He's seen what Belos has done to other coven heads. He doesn't want anything bad to happen to him, so he runs away. And then he meets this is like after a Spore in the Storm. A Spore in the Storm is basically where he meets Willow, Gus, and Vani and Skara. Skara is an ex-friend of Basha, I believe, at this point. He meets them again in Labyrinth Runners, where he's hiding out in Hexside. He becomes very close with Gus and Willow, and I'm pretty sure this is where he starts crushing on Willow, but we're gonna cover that much later. It's finally time to talk about the and her sister, which I didn't know at first because I kind of thought they were twins, but they're not. Lilith is 2 years older than Ida. So, Lilith cursed Ida in order to join the Emperor's Coven. After the failed attempt of petrifying Ida, Lilith leaves the Emperor's Coven and hides out with Ida, Luz, and King in the Owl House. This is where she starts redeeming herself. And then, after she sees her mother, she goes out to live with her for a while. But the cool thing is, Lilith doesn't just go away. We can see her slowly changing, and we can see her personality seeping through when she is with Ida, King, and Luz. Lilith is absolutely a nerd, like the biggest nerd to ever nerd ever. And I'm not sure what kind of bird her talisman is, but it's some nice, it's some crazy looking bird, isn't it? Next up, we should talk about Ida, Lilith's little sister. Ida is very Ida. She's sassy, she's cool, she's not an old lady. You better not let her catch you calling her an old lady, because she sure ain't one. When we first see Ida, she doesn't really have any care in the world. She's been dealing with the curse for a while. She doesn't think it's going to be bothering her anytime soon. She has a pretty comfortable life with King and Hootie. Then her curse starts getting worse and worse. She loses the last bit of her magic to save Luz, and with that, she transforms into the Owl Beast. After Lilith saves her from petrification, Lilith takes half of her curse, somehow, and that means the elixirs work, and she's not the Owl Beast anymore. But her magic and Lilith's magic are gone, and they've started using glyphs. While Lilith excels at listening to glyphs and is pretty good at using them, Ida isn't quite sure how they work, and almost gets everyone killed. Ida style. But with some help from Lilith and Luz, and some very, I don't know, she slowly starts mastering it, which is a good thing too, because we don't want any of that mess happening again. King is probably my favorite Clawthorn. He's Ida's adopted son, legally. Luz is Ida's adopted daughter, not legally. King is a Titan. He is a Titan baby. He's like, I don't know how old King is canonically. I never bothered checking, but he's just a little baby. He's just really young. Way younger than Luz for sure. We find out he's a Titan after he goes to Titan Trapper Island, where he thinks he's a Titan Trapper. But he's not really. He's the son of the Boy in the Isles. King think he was the king of demons, which I guess is sort of true, being a Titan, since demons apparently emerged from the decomposing quote-unquote muck of a Titan. But that's a whole other discussion we aren't getting into right now. Ida found King in his castle tower thingy when he was really young. A little baby, even more than baby than he already is. Now, I can't fully get into King's backstory, but he's definitely an amazing character. And I hope and wish and pray that nothing bad happens to him during the finale. Please, Disney. Please. The quote-unquote friendship between Belos and the Collector is a complicated one, and one mostly filled with manipulation. Manipulation on Belos' part, not the Collector. Go figures, Belos is the one manipulating people again. My good old reliable pal, Belos. Of course he's manipulating people. What else are we doing with this sad, pathetic life? Bella manipulated Luce and Lilith to help find the Collector's mirror phone thingy. And that's what I'm gonna refer to it as his mirror phone thingy, because that's what it is. It's a mirror phone thingy. Now, Belos gets the Collector to do all this stuff to help him make artificial staves. I mean, I'm pretty sure that's what he did. I'm 100% sure Belos is using the Collector to help make artificial staves, because how else would we have been able to do this? He used the Collector to help make artificial staves and to figure out how the draining spell worked, as well as studying, I forget what V is, but like, what her species are. Now, he got the Collector to do all of this by telling the Collector that this is a fun game. It was a game. It was a great game. A game called Make a Draining Spell. I know, what a great game. And he also told the Collector that after the draining spell is complete, he was going to use Titan's blood to help the Collector get out of his phone mirror thingy prison. So the Collector happily agrees, because being a child of the stars with ultimate god mode stuck in a mirror phone prison must be pretty awful. I'd also make a crazy deal with Belos to get out. But sadly for the Collector, this deal did not work out in his favor whatsoever. Surprising literally no one except for the Collector, Belos throws him off a cliff, betraying him and our trust once again. And this is when the Collector finds King. Well, King finds the Collector, but same thing. King lets Collector out, Collector stops the draining spell, Collector starts taking over the world, playing a new game called The Outhouse, which is a game of make-believe. Collector loves this game. King does not love this game. But it's the best thing for both of them at the moment. So, that's basically it for the Collector and Belos section. The Collector's a child of the stars. Belos is Philip Whitebane, who got cursed, and then he further worsened his curse by putting glyphs on his arms. You big old idiot, why would you do that? And Belos eats palisman for a living. Fun. We love eating palisman. The Collector's definitely better than Belos, and I'm 100% sure he's gonna get redeemed or adopted by the end of the series. Or possibly both. Not Belos, though. Belos is dead. Not saying like ships like Luce X Willow are fine, but I don't prefer them myself. Now, you all may be wondering, what's my favorite ship? I like the canon ships. Lumity, and Huntlow, and Rena. And that's the ships I'm going to be talking about today. Starting with everyone's top favorite ship, Lumity. Now, I've heard some people complain that Luce and Amity didn't have proper character development, and their relationship wasn't developed well enough, and it was developed way too quickly. Which I have to disagree with, because I feel like the execution was perfect. Luz never hated Amity. It was always Amity who was distant from Luz. She started by bullying her, and then she came to a realization that Luz was trying to learn magic. She came to a full realization that Luz was not a bad person, during the library incident, and then they slowly became friends when Luz joined Hexside. And then Amity developed a crush on Luz, and then Luz developed a crush on Amity, and then Amity kissed Luz, and then it's all history from there. Now, the next ship on the chopping block, Huntlow. Huntlow is a great ship. Hunter and Willow together, they're like a power couple, like the ultimate power couple. Well, the ultimate teen power couple. Hunter liked Willow first, and then Willow liked Hunter. Hunter liked Willow back before they went to the human world, but I don't think Willow started liking Hunter until after they went to the human world, where they had months to get to know each other a lot better. Hunter appreciated Willow probably for her, entire personality. She was outgoing when he met her, very athletic, and a very great fighter with her plants. And after the human world, Willow got to see the softer side of Hunter, which I'm guessing she really liked, and that's why they're together now. At least I'm pretty sure they're together, and for the future they get together at the end, I'm pretty sure. Finally, it's time to talk about Reedna, Rain x Ida. Now, Rain and Ida have a lot of history together. Rain and Ida meeting back when they were just kids, and Rain said that they wanted to enroll in Hexside. Ida met them during the one convention thingy where she made a deal with her principal. You guys know what episode I'm talking about. I just don't remember the name of the episode. I think it's like Them's the Break Kid. I'm pretty sure it's that episode. Where we also get like a sort of backstory for Tara. Where we find out like she like always just wanted to like kill everyone. She's a great character, I swear. But that's why slowly you see the develop, and then Rain and Ida ended up breaking up. And their breakup is very reasonable to me. Ida was distancing herself from Rain, and Rain, didn't really like that. They were worried for Ida. They wanted to help Ida, but Ida wouldn't tell them anything. Ida kept pushing them away because of her curse, and that's why they ended up breaking up. They reunited again as adults after Rain became the head of the Bard Coven. They reconnected, and it seemed like their love had risen again, and then Rain got kidnapped and never saw them for a while. Scratch that, Ida didn't see them for 2 weeks, according to the show. This time it was Rain who was hiding something from Ida. They didn't want to put Ida in danger because Ida had other stuff to worry about. The other stuff being King and Luz. They knew Ida was taking care of them, and they didn't want to put Ida in danger, which is why they lied and acted like, to everyone, that they didn't remember anything. Which they also needed to act like that because Tara was using some sort of plant magic to do this, and yeah. You guys understand what I'm saying, I hope. This doesn't make any sense, probably because I'm just rambling on and on without a script. Yeah, surprise, surprise, this video is unscripted. I feel like after that, we didn't really get to see them interact much after that. We saw them interact when Ida called Rain to ask them to take Luz away, and then that's what happened. And then we saw them talking with the cats meeting thing. And then we definitely saw how Rain thought Edie looked very good as in Harpy form. Then I don't know how long it took before Rain got transformed into a puppet. No one really does. But I feel like after they come back, everything's gonna be A-okay. That is to say, if they don't die from Bellas, which I hope they don't, because that would be bad. Once everything's pretty good, I'd say Rain and Ida definitely 100% going to get back together. All in all, I really do like the Owl House, and I'm very sad that it's ending tomorrow. But I hope you guys see now why I like the Owl House so much. And for all you Owl House fans out there, we gotta stick together. We absolutely cannot let the fandom die after the series ends. That would be terrible, and I would hate every moment of that. So, tomorrow at 9 p.m., that's gonna be so much fun. Like, the best fun anyone's ever gonna have. Yippee! Well, I hope you guys have a good rest of your day. And I hope you learned something. Remember, don't let anyone tell you what you can or cannot watch, or can and cannot like. And maybe like this video, possibly subscribe. You can comment something if you'd like. Goodbye.